Justin Baldoni's lawyer said that he's going to release all the text messages between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. This is getting incredibly messy, and we're going to talk about it. Hi, my name is MJ, and this is what I've been about in the last month, 2 months, 3 months. We're following the saga that is the It Ends With Us drama, and we're talking about Justin Baldoni, who was the director, and also the actor, the lead actor of the movie It Ends With Us that dropped a few months ago in theaters. And also Blake Lively, who not really sure if she's a producer or just executive producer. But in the Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, it said that Blake Lively is the executive producer. And I think Blake Lively said she's just the producer. But we all know she was much more than that in the actual movie. So, I don't know. And so, Justin Baldoni's lawyer came out and did an exclusive interview with NBC. And I don't know if I would advise Justin Baldoni to go down this route, only because it's kind of reminding me, this entire situation is honestly reminding me of Amber Heard and Justin Baldoni. And honestly, it's not a great thing. Only because when the Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp, it reminds me of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. When the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial came out, when the trial was done, it was done very publicly. People were like so done with the both of them. They both had partly to blame, but obviously mostly Johnny Depp. But it's like we were just like, the entire society, the entire world was like over the entire Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, to the point I think Amber Heard moved to England, I think. Don't know where Johnny Depp is, but I'm fine not seeing him for quite some time. And so I don't want that to happen for Justin Baldoni or Blake Lively. And I'm going to stand with my position and say, like, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, obviously, they will do whatever they want, obviously. But my opinion, I think it's just settle this. Like, I know that both of them have made the public, the society, their supporters, their followers, a party. They've released lawsuits to actual publications. Like, when these things happen, we just read them in articles, we read them, from a reporter, you know what I mean? But to provide a copy of the entire lawsuit that you are filing against somebody and giving it to a whole publication like the New York Times, like Variety, and then you're making us the public a party to all of this. And obviously they're doing it very strategically, because a lot of people are saying a big part of this is because this is mostly salvaging reputation. Justin Baldoni is salvaging his reputation because Blake Lively has said that allegedly, he committed, S harassment on Blake Lively. And Blake Lively is salvaging her reputation because of how she promoted the movie and the things that she said in the past and how it didn't really look favorable on her. And yeah, so they're both doing this because they want people to really look at them and find them, I wouldn't say a good person, I think they both want people to like them. But there's several aspects of this. Of course, you have the legal aspect. Again, I've said this in the beginning. The S harassment is still up in the air. And we're going to go through the interview. I'm going to play the interview. We're going to go through it. But you want the public to also actually like you, but you also want the rest of Hollywood to not only like you, but to let you know that you're not the type of person that the other person has said that you are. So there are like several aspects, and they both have to try to combat all different points of views and different aspects of the reputation that have been damaged. But anyways, let's play the interview. NBC got the exclusive, and I'm going to pause it and while I give my take on it. So let's go.
Lively and Justin Baldoni.
The other film, It Ends With Us, made more than $350 million worldwide. But the actors say behind the scenes, there was anything but movie magic. And now Baldoni's attorney speaking out about his client's allegations.
He sat down exclusively with NBC's Liz Kreutz, who joins us now. Liz, what's he saying?
Hey guys, good morning. Well, Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, tells me they're not done taking legal action following their lawsuit against the New York Times, adding that...
So, yes, Justin Baldoni's lawyer did say that he's also going to be, Justin Baldoni is going to be suing Blake Lively directly. Oh my God, it's a lot of lawsuits. I don't know.
That he plans to release even more text messages between the co-stars. Friedman insists the truth is in those documents and that Blake Lively is the one who used her power and influence to take control of the film.
So that's been very clear all throughout this entire drama, is that a lot of people are now opening up their eyes to the power, the influence, and the connection that Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively have in Hollywood. And you're probably like, why is this random girl, MJ, my name is MJ, by the way, why is this random girl I care about this? Well, I followed both of them from their inception of their entire careers. Like, I followed Blake Lively from Sister of the Traveling Pants. I followed Justin Baldoni from, Jane the Virgin, and off the screen, on the screen too. And so it's just like really interesting to see both of these people careers turn into this, and see how other people are, how each other are viewing each other, because especially when you're a supporter and fan of both of them, you're like, wait, what, oh my God. So it kind of opens your eyes about what's going on, and also it's interesting. And of course, as a member of the public, we're all very nosy, and these are celebrities who make tons of money, and we don't really know them. So this is our chance for us to get to know them individually. And also, because we're both fans of them individually and fans of It Ends With the book and the movie, you're wondering, you realize that the part of Hollywood that you thought it was is not actually that. So it's kind of like dismantling your idea of who people are and how they came to their, how do they come to their career today, and also dismantling of what Hollywood is. And so that's why I care. It's like a crazy interesting drama. I really didn't care about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard because it's just so crazy situations. I was hearing things and I was like, oh my God. But I feel like I know these two because we followed them. Like, I think a lot of millennials have followed them, right? And so it's just so interesting, and you wouldn't think this would happen to these two. So Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, on the power point, I had no idea that Ryan Reynolds had that much power. Honestly, I know he's a billionaire because of his telephone company. I know he owns like a soccer team, but Blake Lively is never on screen. Like, I don't understand how they're so powerful and how they have this connection. Money, yes. Resources, yes. But apparently their agent is one of the most powerful agents in America. Like, I don't understand how they came across all this power and influence, and that's wow. I digress. Let's continue.
Lively's team, though,
and they wielded that power against Justin Baldoni. It's quite clear, right? In the lawsuit, allegedly. So, peeling back the curtains.
So they're saying they're going to defend her accusations in court.
Thank you.
For the first time, the lawyer for Justin Baldoni is speaking out, saying the actor's libel suit against the New York Times will not be the last lawsuit in his client's legal battle with co-star Blake Lively. Do you plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
You will?
Yes.
And what will you allege in that suit?
Well, we're working on it now.
Brian Friedman firing...
So they're working on it. We don't know when it's going to drop. I think I saw a TikTok creator said that they were going to drop the lawsuit a few days ago. But please take your time with these lawsuits, because I'm reading some of these lawsuits, and let me tell you, some of them have made mistakes. They're grammar mistakes. I'm not perfect on grammar, not even the slightest, but there are contradictions in these lawsuits, and some of this doesn't make no sense. So please take your time in drafting these lawsuits, especially when the entire world is watching. Oh my God, so much pressure. I'm so happy to not meet these lawyers, like, for real.
back at Lively's bombshell lawsuit alleging she was subjected to sexually inappropriate behavior on the set of the film It Ends With Us, which Baldoni also directed.
Promise me.
In the more than 90-page federal complaint against Baldoni, his production company, and the PR team they hired, Lively says she was the target of a social media smear campaign, retaliation for speaking out about what she calls a hostile environment on set.
This is where a lot of people who are commenting on this drama on TikTok also clocked this. If it's such a hostile work environment, why put yourself through a hostile work environment? And I said this in my previous videos. Because Blake Lively's not an ordinary woman, right? She's not a woman. She's not part of the working class. She's an elite. She's married to a billionaire. She has, endless amounts of resources and money, and apparently she has all this power. If you have all this power and all of this resources and money, why are you staying in a project that you chose to be in through a hostile work environment? And it makes me ask another question, because honestly, if I had that much money and all that power, I would pay out my contract. Like, I would leave and then file the lawsuit, right? But to then stick with it, and stick through all of this and then wait until the movie dropped in theaters and then marketing and then drop all the lawsuit. It's like, why did you wait this long if it was such a hostile work environment? Another thing too, a lot of people are saying that Ryan Reynolds was with her, every single time she was on set. They both have like 4 kids, okay? I don't think Ryan Reynolds saw every single thing that happened, okay? And I also don't think Ryan Reynolds allegedly was there every single day on set. So, and I also think as well, when you're married, you don't really tell your partner a lot of things. It's when at the end of the night, you come back from work, you're sitting on your bed and you're like, "Hey babe, let me tell you about my day." And then that's how it happens. I think Ryan Reynolds allegedly, please don't please don't come after me. I'm just a random girly. I think that Ryan Reynolds allegedly was hearing all of this from Blake Lively. I don't think he was actually there on set. I think he was probably there from the pivotal moments, like the important meetings, things like that, but not like 12 hours, 24 hours on set. You know what I mean? So, hostile work environment. And if it's hostile, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Let's continue, actually.
Baldoni's lawyer denying those allegations.
Was there a coordinated smear campaign to bring down Blake Lively?
100% no. Justin Baldoni.
Okay, so I'm going to disagree with you there. Okay. I think Justin Baldoni's team did have a percentage of them of the smear campaign, in my opinion, allegedly, based on the documents, because they were on defense. But it's not a large percentage that Blake Lively is alleging and filing a lawsuit on. I think it's a small percentage. In addition, I think they said too, when they were researching, how many times Blake Lively's name will come up in all of this, and Justin Baldoni was 35% of the conversation, because obviously Blake Lively just did a project with Justin Baldoni, so obviously 35% of the conversation when it came to her reputation was tied to Justin Baldoni. But I don't really understand why Blake Lively will go after Justin Baldoni. Like, I don't know why she couldn't just admit that, yes, I've said and done, bad things in the past that weren't that great. I take that. But they're going to have a hard time proving that all of that came from Justin Baldoni. You know what I mean? Because I'm a TikTok user, and honestly, I'm on TikTok quite frequently. And it's quite clear a lot of the things that people were saying were based off of Blake Lively and Blake Lively's actions alone. I don't know.
Baldoni from the get-go said, "I don't want to do anything negative toward her. I don't want to hurt her."
The New York Times was the first to report on a separate civil rights complaint Lively filed, which included text messages and emails between PR experts that allegedly suggest she was the target of a smear campaign. In response, Baldoni and 9 other plaintiffs are suing the paper for $250 million, alleging the article relied on Lively's self-serving narrative, contending a number of those messages were taken out of context or excluded.
So a lot of people are having a lot of thoughts to say about the text messages. And I think in my opinion, I do think the New York Times did take a lot of things out of context and did not include. And I was reading the lawsuit too, the Blake Lively complaint that she gave to the New York Times. Which again, we live in a world where when we're suing somebody, we have to give a copy to a newspaper organization. Again, insane to me. But even I was reading the lawsuit and I'm like, oh my God, these text messages look extremely strange. Like, why are they blocked off like this? Why is there not a screenshot? You know what I mean? So it didn't make any sense. And reading it, it felt like it didn't feel real. You know what I mean? When you're reading something and you're reading, perspective from somebody, it honestly did not feel like that could happen in reality. You know what I mean? So it was great that Justin Baldoni, provided actual screenshots of the text messages in his lawsuit, because we can then be able to look at things at a whole and look at it properly. But I do agree with what is being said online, which is the things that have been said throughout Justin Baldoni's lawsuit and also on Blake Lively's. It hasn't really disproven a lot of what Blake Lively is alleging in her complaint / lawsuit. I mean, it's a complaint, but she actually filed that complaint as a lawsuit on December 31st. So we'll continue.
Among the claims being disputed, Lively's allegation that Baldoni would enter her trailer uninvited while she was undressed, including when she was breastfeeding. A text exchange in Baldoni's lawsuit appears to show Lively inviting Baldoni to go over lines in her trailer while pumping. Justin Baldoni.
So that's exactly what I just said, right? Two things can be true. Blake Lively invited Justin Baldoni while she was pumping or feeding in the trailer one time, but it does not mean that one time can encapsulate every single time that Justin Baldoni came into the trailer, right? Maybe in the beginning, it was like that. She invited him, and then maybe he was too comfortable, allegedly too comfortable, or came in accidentally into the trailer and then met her there, and then, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and then left the trailer. Several things can be true at once. I also do agree too, like in that actual text messages when Blake Lively was inviting Justin Baldoni to the trailer, Justin Baldoni actually responded in that text saying, hey, I'm eating with the crew. There's a TikToker that also said too, how can the entire crew hate him if he was eating with the crew? Well, when we're talking about like who hates Justin Baldoni on set, it could be maybe all of the people that worked with him, It could be the actual actors, maybe the crew themselves who set up the set, the personal assistants, the costume designers, the makeup artists, the set design, the lighting guys, all of that. Maybe those people loved Justin Baldoni, but maybe the cast, including the people who played, Lily's best friend, Lyle, all those people didn't personally like him. And now actually the guy who's playing Lyle, who is playing a different movie adaptation, I forgot what it's called, but I think you guys would know. Please leave it down below. Let's continue.
He has built his brand and is known for supporting women, believing women. So why in this case should people not believe Blake Lively?
I'm not asking anyone to not believe anyone. I am more than willing to take every single text message that exists out there, lay them out, put them on a website for the world to see, have them see the truth.
So when I heard this, I was like, there's no way. Is Justin Baldoni's lawyer going to create a website that says text messages? It ends with us text messages, and lay all of the text messages on an actual website that they've created? Oh my God, it's so insane. This is where it becomes too much. It becomes too much. Okay. The theatrics is too much. Okay. If they do that, that would be insane. Like, do you think, I honestly do believe he's probably going to create a website. The lawyers of Justin Baldoni are going to create a website and lay out every single text message between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. That's so messy. That is so messy. That's where it's doing too much. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I understand you guys gotta save your reputation. But guys, it's too much. And then that's where we go, okay, I think this is time for me to leave the drama, and I leave the room, because the theatrics is too much. I think a lot of people too want Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni to remove the public from this entire drama, because we're done. Like, we're kind of fed up at this point. But anyways, let's continue, y'all.
And determine the truth for themselves.
In a statement, the Times says they stand by their reporting and plan to vigorously defend against the lawsuit, while a lawyer for the actress said nothing in this lawsuit changes anything about the claims in Lively's complaint.
So let's talk about that. So I agree with Blake Lively in the sense for most of that. I agree with most of things that was said in Justin Baldoni. It doesn't really change a lot. It changed a few things. So we do know that Blake Lively took over a lot on set, took over a lot in the movie. That's the new part in the lawsuit. Justin Baldoni hasn't really talked about the S harassment. That was the 30 instances of S harassment that they may or may not allegedly have agreed to, unsigned on paper, blah, blah, blah. They haven't really, disproven anything, really. You know what I mean? They're giving their side of the story. And just because a person, she said her beanie is sexy or sexier, doesn't mean that Justin Baldoni can then say that to her, So I agree with Blake Lively for the most part, but I think the lawsuit that Justin Baldoni dropped was giving us an insight on who Blake Lively is and what actually happened on set. But the allegations that Blake Lively brought up in her complaint last lawsuit now hasn't really been disproven. Now, when it comes to the New York Times, in my opinion, was messy. Okay? Because if I were a reporter, I would say, these are Justin Baldoni's texts. These is Blake Lively's texts. Read them for yourselves, okay? And then I would have concluded that something may have happened, or there was definitely creative differences. They weren't getting along. At least I would have said that. But to say what the New York Times reporter said, and apparently too, I saw somebody comment on this and said that it's actually quite common for the New York Times to get sued, but a lot of the times it doesn't really end up being in the public. That's what I've heard. Please don't come after me. And they usually settle a lot. So I know the New York Times lawyers, of course, they're going to say they're going to vigorously defend this, because you know why? This has become incredibly public and the entire world knows what is going on. And honestly, that report, the article from the New York and the reporter who actually did that, the reporter who actually wrote that article is is an award-winning one. Listen, it's so messy, it's so crazy. I don't know. She has Blake Lively has all this power, or maybe her agents have all this power to then give her entire lawsuit and all just the text messages just to this reporter for them to, and this reporter would then just take that and just run with it. But I also heard too that apparently when you are representing clients, and let's say you are a PR agent and you're a publicist, apparently if you want something to be publicized about your client, you go to a reporter and you actually have to pay a reporter to write a story for you, which I didn't know that. I thought it was just because I was listening to a black TikToker who she commented and said, my neck is really itchy. I think I have a rash. I don't know what's going on. And the black content creator, and she was saying that she used to be a PR agent or a publicist, and when they wanted positive things to come out about her client, which is the organization company, she would have to go and pay the reporter and be I want to pay X for you to. Sorry, my neighbors are constructing or doing some construction. I want to pay X for you to share this information about my client. And the reason why they would do that is because some publications have viewers that are favorable in certain types of subjects. So for instance, let's say I'm doing a hair care company, but let's say a publication, their viewers are black women, but they're 3C, not 4C curls mostly. And so, but you know that your hair care is 4C, but you want to put your 4C brand in front of 3C black haired girls because you want them to be exposed and they can tell other people that they know have 4C hair. It's like it's more complicated than we may think. And so there's a lot of like information, a lot of like new things about all of this that are coming to light that I had no about. It's like education. It's like school. Like I'm going to PR school. I'm going to like publicist school through all of this. You know what I mean? Crisis management school. Highly interesting. Let's continue.
You're denying a smear campaign, but are you acknowledging that there may have been some behavior on set that could have made some of the cast, including Blake Lively, uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I think there's some behavior always that can make people uncomfortable, and I don't think anybody has the intention to do that. The question really in this case is the level of sexual harassment.
Lively.
Oh, this is what I said in the video I took down on YouTube. Remember I rushed you quickly and I was like, you know what? I support Justin Baldoni. But I was going off of excerpts of the actual lawsuit. I had no idea Blake Lively gave the entire lawsuit to the New York Times. Again, unprecedented. So anyways, I said, is there a possibility that Justin Baldoni is so aware of what he says, okay, is so aware and so woke that Blake Lively is not comfortable, allegedly not comfortable with a man who is this woke and too open with his feelings and his thoughts on these type of subjects that are usually taboo for men? Is that a possibility that Blake Lively may have thought that a man like this, as good looking as he is, happens to be this knowledgeable of certain things and may come off as being crossing a boundary with a woman, okay? Because she may not feel comfortable talking about these things so openly as he does. Is that a possibility? And that's what I said. Because the 30 incidences, right, that she laid kind of made me go, you know what I mean? Let's continue.
Lively did not respond to our request for comment, but as previously said, I hope that my legal action helps pull back the curtain on these sinister retaliatory tactics to harm people who speak up about misconduct.
To harm people who speak up about this conduct. So she's saying the retaliatory conduct is the smear campaign. Okay. Let's use critical thinking skills for a second, okay? Is the smear campaign. Okay. But the smear campaign, allegedly, that she's stating only happened when the movie was airing, like in the promotion and the things like that, right? In the promotion and the campaign of the movie. So if you're saying that Justin Baldoni was retaliatory, would it make sense for Justin Baldoni to be as retaliatory as he was, according to them, earlier on before the movie? Isn't it weird that they were retaliatory during the movie and production of the movie? During the marketing of the movie? Why would they be retaliatory to only you? Because of this harassment, of course, harassment allegations, during the marketing of the movie that Justin Baldoni owns and is the lead actor and profits from. Why would he go after, why would he start this retaliatory campaign during the marketing of his own movie? Wouldn't it make sense for Justin Baldoni to start his retaliatory, allegedly, before the marketing of the movie? Wouldn't it hurt Justin Baldoni? Again, I'm just thinking critically, thinking out loud, okay? Again, I'm unbiased here. I'm not taking no sides. it would not benefit Justin Baldoni to be retaliatory towards Blake Lively in a movie that he's part of, because that would be less money for him. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that... Am I fair to ask those questions? Because when I heard that, I'm like, retaliatory, okay. And that's what a lot of people are saying. This kind of seems like more of a PR lawsuit, if anything. That's what some people are saying. But I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know.
So Liz, Baldoni's lawsuit also mentions this interaction he says that he had with Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, of course. What did he say in that?
Yes. So remember in the lawsuit, Justin Baldoni, Justin Baldoni is alleging that Ryan Reynolds berated him in an apartment or in Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' house over the fat shaming that Justin Baldoni allegedly did against Blake Lively.
Yeah, Laura, so in that lawsuit against the New York Times, Baldoni says Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, aggressively berated him during a meeting at their New York apartment, accusing him of fat-shaming his wife. That's a claim Baldoni denies. Reynolds and Lively have not responded to that allegation about that meeting. Meantime, Lively is seeking...
Actually, not true. Ryan Reynolds actually, now we know how all these magazines and articles, publications work now. So... People magazine, okay, a source from Ryan Reynolds' camp gave a quote to People magazine. Now, we don't know if Ryan Reynolds paid People. Now we know how this works. Like, we inform the public. So, let me continue. We digress. People wrote an article saying that Ryan Reynolds did not berate, the source said from Ryan Reynolds' camp, did not berate Justin Baldoni, but had a heated conversation. To me, it means the same thing. I don't know why you're clarifying. So let me get this straight. You still had a conversation about this. Okay, thanks for clarifying. You're not... Like, why would you waste your money on giving us information that didn't really make a difference?
In compensation for what she says have been lost wages and mental pain. She says...
Okay. I disagree with this. Because here's the thing. I'm in the beauty space on TikTok, and also, I follow people who love to give their takes on things. And because I'm in the beauty space, I'm very familiar of Brown Beauty, which is Blake Lively's brand. And I know big content creators who do hair, like wash their hair and, try hair care products, wash their hair, condition their hair, and they give you their review. I actually know some of them, not personally, but I follow them. All different, racially diverse and all, and a lot of them weren't giving the best opinion out of all of the line. I think they said the conditioner I think is the best. I don't know what else she has, but it wasn't just her. Random people that would pop up on my page and be like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this. I don't like all of it, but I like this product. So there's that. And then you have her drink company, which I didn't really hear much about, honestly, other than I think she did a video or a video interview with Vogue, and she was preparing some of the drinks. I don't really hear any reviews on the drinks. And then what else? And then so she already filmed a movie while all this is happening. So what do you mean wages? Are you saying that because of all of this people don't want to work with you? Because honestly, I get that. If that's the case, but how are you gonna tie that to Justin? How are you going to tie that to Justin? How are you going to do that, girl? I definitely understand how this has happened to me. I have no clue where I will probably be in a hole somewhere. Hopefully Blake Lively is, well and strong enough to deal with this. But, I definitely see how this definitely affected your emotional and mental well-being. But again, girl, how are you going to tie that to Justin? For sure, all this drama definitely can affect anybody in a very, very negative way. But I don't know how you can tie the decrease of your money from Justin and the decrease and the emotional and the mental negative well-being to Justin. Because here's the thing. Actually, I'll say this at the very end. I'll conclude on that. I'll conclude on my point that I have. I think I have 6 minutes left of this on this here. 6 seconds.
Says she suffered throughout all of this. Guys, Laura.
All right, let's. It's nice get.
Okay, so that's that. So that's it. So I do want to conclude by saying, okay. Oh damn! I had a point. I have no clue at that point. See, that's why I like to talk. As you guys can see, I kind of talk off the rip, and I really don't have notes for the most part. So when I remember something, I usually try to tell you guys. But yes, I was trying to say, like, I don't know how you're gonna tie all of that Blake Lively girl to Justin. I just don't. Oh yes, here's a realization I had yesterday or today, guys. Every single director who's watching this drama is probably like, what the hell, Justin? What the hell? Because you know why? Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Again, like, we members of the public don't know. We working class people don't know what directors do. Okay? We kind of have a vague idea, but we don't know like the day-to-day duties. We don't know what producer really does. We don't really know all that. So I'm thinking, if actors are not contractually able to do something because they're only supposed to stay in their lane, act, and directors are supposed to stay in their lane, if that's the case, is it then Justin Baldoni's job to go to Blake Lively and be like, no, Blake, you're not going to edit this movie. No, Blake, my foot is down. It wasn't wrong for Justin Baldoni to give Blake so much leeway. I saw somebody talking about this. Like, if you give a girl an inch, she takes a mile, right? Maybe that's what happened here too. But it seemed like Justin Baldoni knew this was happening after the fact or while it was happening. Like, nobody was telling, like, there was no like communication too. Like, what is going on? But then again, like, you're an actor. Why in the world would you be trying to edit an entire movie when you're not the director? You know what I mean? So I guess my question is, are directors supposed to go to actors? No, girl, you cannot edit this movie. You cannot take over the wardrobe. This is my vision. Like, put their foot down? Was Justin Baldoni supposed to be doing that? Because he gave her too much leeway. A lot of questions. Again, like, as the more lawsuits they drop, I just have a lot more questions. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. Because I'm a fan of both of these actors and they were a big part of me and my sister's growing up and lives, I am going to be following this lawsuit. Okay, it's incredibly interesting, and I'm learning a lot about Hollywood. As a person who watches movies and television shows, so this like drama is on brand for me because they're both movie and TV actors that I follow and I'm a fan of. So I am going to be following this drama really closely. If that's also your prerogative, and you also love TV and movie reviews, like, comment, share, hype. I think you can also support me financially too down below. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how YouTube works sometimes, but you can do all of that. I want to hear all your comments, all your thoughts, all your questions. Stay woke and stay healthy and stay safe. Happy New Year, everyone. The new year has just begun and it's getting spicy. Bye.